So this is the Honda SH350i 2025 model year. Slight changes design-wise in the front. Nothing really has changed, but I will test it for you anyways. And yeah, my first impression on the road is very good. It's very agile. It seems to have a lot of power, but maybe only in my mind is stuck that it kind of feels and seems and looks like a 125 scooter, but then actually you open up the throttle and you say, oh wow, but yeah, it has the power of the 350 or 330. Anyways, let's get to the controls, the display and the storage space. So on the left hand side of the handlebar we have the brake lever for the rear disc brake. The brakes are very good, very strong, powerful, and you have a good grip here. You have the light switch here for high beam, low beam passing light. We have the horn here. Okay, it doesn't work now because I don't have it turned on, but anyways, we have the info A and B button. These are for the display. We have the turn signal switch here. That's everything on the left hand side. On the right hand side we have the throttle, we have the brake lever for the front disc brake, we have the emergency cutoff switch here, and we have the starter switch right here. In the middle we have the inverted LC display. Honda has that already installed for 2 or 3 years already. Before they had, of course, the gauge cluster. Now we have the inverted LC display. I'm not a big fan of that, of this era actually, because you know, it can be a little bit difficult to see in the sun, but I hope maybe next year they will change it to a TFT display or so. Most of the other models from Honda, they have changed them already to the nice 5-inch TFT display. Anyways, here we have all the controls, indicator lights on the left and right hand side of the display. In the middle we have the big field here with the air temperature shown on the top left, top right. We have the clock. In the middle we have the speedometer. Then down below we have a constant display here of the battery voltage. To the right we have a data field. We can switch that with info A button. We have the actual fuel consumption. We have the total mileage, and we have the range here. And underneath at the bottom of the display, or at least of the top display here, we have the fuel indicator. At the bottom you have a display showing the fuel consumption. You can change it with info B. We have the display of the average fuel consumption there, kilometers per liter, but you can change it somehow to a liter on 100 kilometers. You can do that. Also you see the trip A distance here. I switch it, we have trip B, and we go to the traction control. It is usually turned on. You can turn it off with a longer press of the button. So what else do we have in the front? We have a cubby hole here, which is not too small, but it's also not really that big. Maybe 4 of my hands will fit in there. We have a USB-C connection in there. We also have a hook here for your groceries. On the right hand side we have the ignition switch here and the seat opener. Underneath the seat you have the fuel cap. You don't have anything here, you have it underneath the seat. Let's open up the seat. This is what it looks like when the seat is open. As I said, the fuel tank is in the rear right here, and we have a helmet storage right there. Unfortunately my full-faced helmet, Shark Spartan size M, does not fit in there, but you know, smaller helmets or a jet helmet will fit in there. In Spain the smart top box system is already included. You can only get it with the smart top box here. The smart top box you see up here, you can open it with a push of a button, but if you want to take it off you still need a key. Actually my Shark Spartan will fit in the rear there, but not in the front. So this is the new Honda SH350i 2025 model year, and we'll take it out for a little spin. Let's go. So let's turn on this little city beast here. And there we go. This is the new Honda SH350i 2025 model year. Let's go, let's start it up. We have to press the brake lever here and push the starter switch. And there we go. This means traction control is on. This would mean traction control is off. Everything is okay. ABS will turn off eventually after we start rolling for a few meters. Let's go. Yeah, first impression, sitting on the seat seems to be very comfortable. I don't have any complaints with the seat. Naturally, you sit like on the toilet position here. I'm almost running off the road here while talking to you. Yeah, very straight up. Yeah, really like on a toilet. You know, as you can see, I'm 175, and you can see what it looks like. Basically, this is nothing negative. I just want to tell you, you know, what the seating position looks like. You cannot stretch your feet to the front because we don't have any space there. Of course, you can just put them outside of the scooter if you want, but you know, it can be quite dangerous. And what else do we have to say? The mirrors are very nice. They're located far enough on the outside that you can see everything behind you. The 16-inch tire in the front is very nice and stable. It feels very stable when you go through the corners here. Here we go. Woohoo! Oh my god, yeah. What I always think about the scooter, it looks like a 125cc. Somehow it feels like a 125 when you get on it. But when you pull the throttle, it feels really powerful. And I know it's a 330cc scooter, but you know, you don't have the impression really when you get on it for the first time, so you have to get used to that. And it's very quirky. No, not quirky, it's very quirly. Can you say quirly? Agile, maybe a better word. Very nice to handle on the corners. A little bit different than the ADV 350, which to my taste gives me the best response and feeling in the corners. This one is okay, you know, it's nothing negative, but it's different. I just wanted to point this out. This feels a little bit more like a scooter in the corners, although still good and stable. And the ADV 350, if you want to compare it to that, feels more like a motorcycle and very easy to handle. Yeah, but this is nothing negative. I just pointed out, and the first thing that I noticed when I got on it this morning, it feels really sporty. And yeah, maybe it's just in my head, you know, that I think it's a 125, but actually it has a bit more power. And even when you're at 100 kilometers an hour or so on the road and you twist the throttle, it still goes up like a crazy maniac. So pretty nice. And go. Yeah, it feels very speedy. I don't know why I get this impression, and why now, and why today. Maybe because everything is very subjective. I don't know. But it just feels crazy sporty to me all of a sudden, although it should be slower and everything according to the new emission standards, you know, and all that. Yeah, and also here on the hill, steep incline, it feels very nice, very speedy, powerful. The only thing, of course, that I would not like, but it's getting warmer now outside, so it's not a big problem. You don't have any windscreen. Of course, you can attach one here, but no windscreen means you get the full force of the wind onto your chest, but that is to be expected, of course. But I just want to point it out. And but anyways, yeah, and also I have this feeling, I did not have that before. I don't think they changed anything in the chassis or so, but I have the feeling that you sit a little bit more to the front, so you want to actually look to the front and see how fast the tire is spinning or whatever, you know. But maybe these are just stupid impressions of mine. And yeah, but all in all, it leaves a very, 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 very good impression. I don't know why. Yeah, that's already actually everything I can tell you about this. There is nothing, for me, nothing really which is a very big negative. I mean, except for the display, which I don't like. But okay, you cannot change that. And also the storage space underneath the seat could be a little bit bigger, so I could fit my full-faced helmet down below. So I would have very good storage space for me personally in the top box and underneath the seat. But unfortunately, you know, we cannot fit a full-faced helmet in there, and that is very bad actually, because most of the other scooters, even smaller scooters, they will fit that. But maybe that is caused by the fuel tank that you also have there in the rear. I don't know how if the SH350i, if you can fit a helmet in there, because the tank is in the front, I think. I don't remember, but these are the small teeny tiny gripes I have with it. Other than that, I do like it, you know, I really do like it. It seems to be very, very alive and kicking here. And yeah, that's all I can tell you guys and gals about the Honda SH350i 2025 model year. Thanks very much for watching. This is Ben Ryder. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cruising down the coast, sun on my face, on a brand new ride, taking my place. From scooters to beasts, every mile's a test. I push the limits, give you my best. Every twist